Welcome in to Moving the Chains, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. I'm Kevin Thomas alongside Jerel Hendricks. We've got a great interview lineup today, a very special guest, the new head coach of the Green Sea Floyds Trojans, Patrick Martin. Coach, how you doing today?
Good. How about y'all?
Doing well, and we appreciate your time. We really do. If this is you guys' first time tuning in, be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, etc. at Movin Chains. Also, our brand new website, movinchains.com, movinchains.com. Our podcast also available on Apple, Spotify, Google, etc. Coach Martin was hired in January. He's been the defensive coordinator for Green Sea Floyds for the past 5 seasons. Prior to that, he has coached at Georgetown and Loris. Coach, let's just start with that. How's that transition been taking over as the head man now there for the Trojans?
I've hit the ground running. I've been busy from day one because our school, we got the middle school and high school together. So I'm currently still teaching my middle school PE classes and going back and forth, trying to take care of the varsity needs as well. So it's been busy.
I bet so, but let's get into a little bit of background information. Talk about your coaching career up until this point for us.
Well, my first job out of college was at Loris High School. I was a full-time substitute for Horry County Schools and coached football at Loris. So I helped with the JV and the varsity offensive line, the offensive coordinator. Then I got hired at Central Middle School in Whiteville, North Carolina. I was the head middle school football coach there. I amassed a record of 17-5 in 4 years, 2 conference championships, 2 runner-ups. Also coached baseball and basketball there as well. Then I had the opportunity to join Bradley Adams at Georgetown for a year. I stayed in Loris, so I drove an hour and 5 minutes one way every day for a year.
Wow.
So it was tough, but I enjoyed my time there. I learned a lot from Coach Adams. Then the job opened up here at home in 2016. So I come home, I drive 6 miles to work every day. So I'm home and I don't plan on going nowhere.
I love it. I love how you call it home. I mean, how special does it have to be, to take over at the place that you went to high school, you graduated from? I mean, how cool is that feeling to take over at your alma mater?
It's pretty special because my wife works at the school here. My brother works here. My kids go to elementary school, which is in our backyard. My uncle was the first principal here when the schools combined. The stadium named after him. The press box, the sound system in the press box was donated by HTC in honor of my grandfather. So I'm home. This is my family school. It ain't just my school. It's my family school.
Well, you're definitely familiar with the school, but you also mentioned earlier you're taking over for Coach Joey Price there. During this transition, I'm sure it's been a little bit easier for you with so much familiarity, but have you leaned on to him with the process there?
Well, he told me after he retired, he said, if it's up to me, it's your turn to take it over. If you need anything, reach out to me and let me know. I've seen him in passing a couple of times, but I pretty much, since I'm so familiar with the school, I ain't had to lean on. But I'm pretty sure that when the season starts, I'll start leaning on somebody with a little more head coaching experience.
There you go. So, Coach, how is that staff shaping up? You got everybody in place, or waiting on some guys, once school gets out to join up, or how is that looking?
All my staff is coming back from last year. I'm looking to hire 2 more. I'm trying to get it where I don't have to coach a position so I can float around and help and watch. We coach the B team and JV together, so we all coach the same one. So while varsity's on defense, JV's on offense. So I want to be able to float and monitor the whole entire program. We got one waiting for board approval, so that should happen shortly. And I'm still looking for one more to complete my staff.
So you're starting over with your system in place here. You've coached on both sides of the ball coming up through the ranks. But what type of schemes are you looking to run on offense and defense going forward into 2023?
Well, offense is going to be a little bit of everything. Because when I was here at Green Sea Floyds, we were in the triple option out of Wishbone. So now I went to play football at Coastal. We went to spread no huddle. So I've been versed in all of it. So if you're looking for a type, it's going to be as close to Coastal Carolina's offense as we can make it.
Awesome.
Last 5 years, with a little good option. We're going to run the football. We're going to try to inflict our pain up front with the offensive line deal. Because I'm a lineman at heart. So the lineman is going to be where we win. So we're going to put the pressure on the lineman to take us where we need to go. And I'm going to throw the ball when I want to, not when I have to. And on defense, our defense is going to stay the same. We're going to run an odd defense, and we're just going to confuse the offense as much as possible. Because I got 2 former defense coordinators already on my staff, very versed in the 3-4 and 3-3. So defense should not change a whole lot. The terminology might change a little bit, but we're going to get after people.
Are you going to, hang on to that defense, keep calling plays? But since you have those two DCs on staff, are you going to relinquish the play calling?
I'm going to relinquish DC to one of them, and I'm going to help more on the offensive side of the ball because we're going from wing T to more spread. So my offensive coaches are going to need a little bit more help on the offensive side of the ball. So I'm going to spend more of my time with offense.
You mentioned you've coached, a few different places. Obviously, you played college ball as well. Are there any coaches that you kind of maybe model your style after, or you maybe say are big influences on you?
One of my biggest influences on me was Coach David Bennett at Coastal. He gave me a shot. I walked on. I didn't get a scholarship money when I left Greensea Floyds. I showed up every day during the summer, no money. He just kept working hard. Finally, my senior year, I earned a scholarship from him, and he has a lot to do with my wanting to be a coach. And my high school coach in high school with Doug Henson, he has a lot to do with it too. He pushed me to get better, strived me to go to camps, strived me to play multiple sports, to stay in shape for football. And my offensive line coach in college, Coach Jamie Snyder, who was at Loris at one time and now at Myrtle Beach. My style is probably more like him. Is I'm gonna be passionate about what I do. Sometimes it might come off of being harsh, but I'm going to yell. I'm gonna be passionate. People's gonna know. People's gonna hear what I have to say. But I'm just gonna coach the kids hard and show them that I love them, and that comes a lot from Coach Bennett and Coach Snyder.
That's cool. You mentioned trying to adapt a lot of those coastal principles on offense. Have you been in contact with Coach Chadwell or maybe Coach Korn? I know they've moved on to Liberty, but are you just more so just studied that offense and going to add your own twist to it?
I pretty much studied that offense. Also because Art Craig running at Timberland a little bit out of the pistol, so I've been studying on coach's choice. I watched a bunch of YouTube coaching games on YouTube. Now, it's probably not going to be their terminology, but it's going to look like theirs. It's going to be my little flair, too, but it's going to look close to theirs as possible.
Coach, what kind of team do you guys have coming back? Any special guys that we should be on the lookout for here in 2023?
I got a big offensive lineman, Isaac Shelley. He's starting to get a little bit of recruiting noise for some of the smaller schools. So he's going to be a force to be reckoned with on the OL. The skill guys, we ain't got that one. It's going to be a multiple front on getting ball to skill guys. There ain't one that stands out right now, but hopefully by third game, we're going to have somebody that stands out a little bit.
Awesome. So you were a coach on the 2018 and 2019 teams that won state championships. You guys took a little bit of a dip, but, this Greensea program is, known to be pretty good. What's it going to take to get them back to that championship level?
With that group in 18 and 19, a coach in the community took a group of kids in the recreation department, stayed with them all the way up till they got to us. And when they got to us, they just exploded. So my plan is to get involved in the recreation program because my kids can be playing, so I'll be over there anyways. I just will find me a group of kids, stick them together, and try to move them on to the varsity. And maybe when they get to me, they explode again like we did in 18 and 19. So it's going to take me getting involved in the recreation department more, doing little kids camps, make the terminology the same. So when they get to me, they know what they expect, and they know some of the terminology when they get to me.
Love to hear that. You mentioned coming up through the rec program, but also you mentioned that you guys are a combined school with the middle school there. What sort of influence do you have there with the middle school program?
It's everybody can't say when they walk in the door in sixth grade, I see them. I get to see them all the way until they graduate. That's why Mr. Harris, the principal, is leaving me in the middle school this year. So when I moved to the high school, the middle school kids I had last year would come with me because they already know who I am, familiar with me. Last year on the JV, we had 39 players, which is the most we had in a long time. 23 of them will be freshmen next year. So we're going to a true B team. So we go to a true 7th, 8th grade team, and all the freshmen want to play varsity. So my varsity right now is sitting at probably about 55 players, which we ain't seen that number in a very long time.
Sure.
That's awesome for a 1A school at 55. That's huge. That's a great turnout for sure. So, Coach, we're looking here. It's end of March coming up. Have you finalized that spring schedule yet? And if so, do you guys have maybe a spring game or something like that on the books as well for a couple weeks out?
Our schedule finalized. I won't have a spring game because we're a small school, and I still have kids playing baseball, track, and tennis. The last track meet's not until May 18th. So if I try to do a spring game, the ones that run the track is going to be crunched for time. And with the way we set up, as soon as you put on pads on, your middle school kids are not allowed to participate as much. Mm-hmm. So my plan is to go all helmets, and that way my 6th through 8th graders can stay with me and learn. So we won't, unless some older guys want to hit a little bit, we probably won't hit it all during spring practices. So they might talk me into it a day or two, but it won't be very much banging on each other because I don't want to run nobody off. I don't want to get anybody hurt.
And changing up the offense there, you guys plan on doing anything in the summer in regards to 7-on-7s? And I know you mentioned you're a lineman, so any lineman camps or anything you guys have scheduled out for the summer?
Actually, since the high school league approved the practice in March, open season in March, I've been going 3 days a week now in March with the ones I have that ain't playing a spring sport. I've had about 29 every day. So I'm slowly getting offense put in. I'm working about 3 plays a week. So I'm about pretty much got my whole offense in. Only problem is my quarterback's playing baseball, so I'm gonna have to play quarterback. So I'm not being able to watch everybody, but then in the summertime we're gonna have some 7-on-7s. It's a school that we're going to has a lineman thing. We'll go to that. But my lineman are probably gonna stay here and live with the OL coach and do skill work with him if we go 7-on-7 more.
Get your head in the game with Founders Federal Credit Union. See how Founders membership could elevate your financial game. Train your financial skills with our wide array of financial tools and services. Visit RelaxJoinFounders.com today to see if you qualify for membership. Relax with Founders Federal Credit Union.
Coach, we got a couple easier ones here for you now. So obviously you mentioned earlier you played at Coastal. How do you feel about the chance this year with the new head coach coming in? Are you looking forward to the year for those guys?
Actually, I do, because I actually have a former player I played with on coaching staff too, Perry Parks. He's the receivers coach. So I'm looking forward to see what they can do. They got a chance to be very good because McCall was back. That was big, him coming back. The defense should be a little bit better as well. I'm looking for them to do big things. As long as they beat App State, I'm good.
I love it.
That's good stuff right there, Coach. Obviously, we're big social media guys. Obviously, that's how we run our platform for the most part. You guys have adopted the slogan, Greatness, Service, Family for GSF. What does that mean to you and, more importantly, to the program as you take over?
Greatness. We're trying to be great at everything we do on and off the field. They got to be students in the classroom before they can be on the field with me. So we're just going to try to be great at everything we do. Attention to detail. You take care of little things, big things is going to happen. Service. We're going to take care of our community. This ain't my football team. It ain't school football. It belongs to the community. So I plan on doing service projects in the community. I'm going to do a little kids camp. Right now, my field's under construction, so we're getting turf. So I'm kind of limited on what I can do with little kids camp right now. So I'm waiting on the field to be done before I schedule that. And one thing I'm going to try to adopt what we did at Coastal with Coach Bennett. It was called the Men of Teal. So I'm probably going to change it to the Men of Gold. Each senior got to pick one person in their community that did something big for them and give them $100. So that's one thing I'm going to try to adopt, that my seniors pick somebody who had an impact on their life and give them $100. I know it ain't much, but $100 is $100. Family, I want to be a family. I want to just be a brotherhood. Lean on your teachers, lean on your coaches, lean on your teammates. If somebody needs something, you know where you can come. So I want to be a family-oriented program. I want to be better men when they leave me than a football player. I want to be a better husband, father, and community member.
You touched on this briefly a second ago, the upgrades at the stadium with the new turf going in. What's kind of the timeline on that being completed? And is that something that, do the kids get pumped up about that stuff? And do you like the turf instead of the grass, or what are your thoughts on all that?
Timeline, I asked my D 80 years today. He said May 19th, but they've been running about a month behind on everything. So I said end of June. He said end of June would probably be the best bet. I like the turf because that's one less field we got to paint. Now we're going to just paint the practice field and call it a day. I like the turf because you ain't got to worry about rainouts. It's raining all day. You got somewhere to practice. We ain't got to fight over the gym. We get more stuff done. But it's also hotter too. So we got to be careful with the wet bulb during the summertime. But I like the turf. It's even playing field. You ain't got to worry about your foot slipping because the grass is wet. We played on Loris last year. Loris got turf last year. Kids seem to enjoy it. Now you're going to have to deal with the turf burns and stuff like that. But that's the way it is. But I think the kids will enjoy the turf because sometimes even the slow kids are a little bit faster on turf.
All right, typical Moving the Chains. I don't know if you've been able to watch any of our interviews previously, but we got to ask a food question. Now you're a Horry County native. We haven't been able to make the trip out there yet. What are some of your favorite restaurants in that area? When we get out that way, where should we go?
Well, right here by the schoolhouse, all we got is a convenience store. We got Sugar Bears. The sign says home of the world's worst fried chicken, but it's pretty good. But then you go to Loris, you have Shorty's. It's a grill, get anything you want. So Shorty's is pretty good down here, and we got a Mexican restaurant. It's pretty good. But we ain't got no very big time chains because we're small rural. So if you want anything bigger, you got to go to North Florida Beach, something like that. But Shorty's in Loris is by far one of my favorites. And we're currently building a wing zone in Loris too. So when it opens up, I'm going to check that out.
For sure. Yeah. We like the local places. I don't really care about North Myrtle Beach. We've all been to the beach. So we'll put Shorty's on the list for sure.
Coach, you know, a lot of our followers might be fans of maybe a bigger school, a 4A school, a 5A school, whatever. You know, how can you kind of explain what a program like Green Sea Floyds means to the community and how, you know, it's not the same as in one of these big cities, as you know, obviously. How important is that school to the community? How does the community really rally around what you guys do throughout the year?
Pretty much when the lights is on Friday night, everybody's in the stadium because there's nothing else to do. Sugar Bears used to stay open. Now they stay open after the ball game to get the crowd leaving. It's just we rally around the sport because it means a lot to everybody. Pretty much, I've already started teaching kids I graduated with, children. So somebody I went to school with is coming through here. It's just this is a community school. The community do anything I ask you if you need help, they'll help you. Do anything. I need somebody to cook sausage dogs for sale. They'll give me a grill when I cook them, cook chicken bar. They'll do anything I need them to do to help me.
1A and 2A schools are very important for strength and conditioning. Notice on your social media that you're very, active in that. You're a certified coach there. What kind of imprint do you have as far as strength and conditioning and coaching? Do you have a separate coach, or do you kind of head up that program for your team?
Well, right now, since I'm still in the middle school, my co-offensive coordinator is doing the high school weight room right now. So I'm pretty much doing the stuff with the middle school, which is more like body weight and form running, how to run. But next fall, I'll take over the high school weight room. Actually, it'll start this summer when we start summer workouts. It'll start then. But I'm gonna have a big imprint on that. The one that's doing it now, he knows what he's doing because he's worked with Coach Donnie Kiefer and Coach Price, so he's very versed on what's going on. And I'm not going to change a whole lot there either. Them two are very successful in the weight room, so we're going to lean on their knowledge. Coach Kiefer is very well known in the powerlifting and strength conditioning, so we're going to lean on what he's done with us in the past, and we might put a little twist on it every now and then, but it's majority going to be what Coach Kiefer has already instilled here, and Coach Price has too.
Last one here, Coach. Have you guys set any goals yet for that 2023 campaign?
No. My main goal is get better every day. Try to be that 1%, get 1% better each day. Win the current day. Don't worry about what happened yesterday. Just move on to the next day. Take one game at a day at a time. Finish the week 1-0 every week, and just be attention to detail, and the big things will happen.
Well, this has been great. Definitely want all of our viewers and followers to go check out Coach Martin and the Trojans program on social media. They do a great job of posting schedules and big-time athletes, things like that. So definitely check them out there. Like I mentioned earlier, check us out, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. MovinChains.com as well. Our podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google. Moving the Chains brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Coach, that's all I got for you. Joe, anything else you got for Coach today?
Oh, no, just congratulations, first of all, Coach. I can't imagine how special that is for you to, coach at home. That's really cool, especially those communities in South Carolina. Kevin and I are from small towns in this state, so we know how that small town feel and how the community rallies around the football program. So just excited for you and excited for that Green Sea program to see what you guys do in 2023. And we just wish you continued success through the spring and summer, and look forward to what you guys put on the field in the fall.
Thank you, sir, and I appreciate what y'all do for high school athletics in South Carolina.
Yes, sir. We appreciate it. Look forward to stopping by a practice or a game or something this year and getting to chat with you. But thanks again, Coach. We appreciate it.
Thank you.